So let me just start by welcoming you onto the Japan Society stage and just check in with you about your own leadership journey and the way that work has transformed over the past few years, both pre-pandemic in your career and then where we are in this moment.
Thinking back 3 years ago, I think it was such an interesting time for me because I was doing head of global sales operations here in the headquarters at Tiffany. Nimbly adjusting to the new environment, that was really the biggest challenge. And also bringing everybody together as one team. Of course, everybody, I think, experienced here in the New York City that total shutdown. Our office was completely shut down with the city. But then, after I took over the Japan position and I moved over to Japan, I realized in Japan, during the pandemic, even though the border was closed, everybody was working as usual, and only difference was the restaurants were closing at 8 p.m. and no alcohol. So I was in the office pretty much like 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and then my team came and knocked my door, and they said, "Excuse me, but you have to go home because we can't go home if you are here." You don't have to wait for your boss to go home. So that's the kind of learning experience that we went through in Japan.
Dating back to 3 years ago, I have to say I was in a very unique position. I was asked to actually become the regional CEO at Shiseido Americas at that time in the middle of the shutdown. We felt like we connected in different ways where you're separated, you're isolated, but you then find ways to connect. That's why ultimately companies that are going to succeed are going to be able to adapt to this hybrid agility in the workplace, not recognize that one way is the right way. Agility has to be probably one of the biggest things.
I think leaders have to have ability to inspire and also motivate employees because you need to have the commitment without being overseeing the employees, without being together. You need to really inspire and show the vision and really highlight where you want to go together.
I think it's empathy, right? If as a leader, if I can actually connect in an authentic way and really express that empathy.
From my perspective, diversity means more of the difference in thinking. It's more of anybody who have a different way of thinking and bringing those different way of thinking into your business is always so helpful in order for you and your companies to evolve and also always improve.
And the more you could bring on top of different perspectives of diversity in that way of thinking, but people have just different experiences because how they grew up, who their family member was, who their friends were, where they went to school. All those things to me add up. And I'm very proud that our leadership team is more than 2/3 women as at the executive level.
So there's 4 C's, 4 factors to really determine the value of the diamond. I translate that into how to really improve the value of yourself with my 4 C's. My 4 C's is first is curiosity. Second is confidence. Third is the courage. And the 4th is compassion.
People have to be willing to fail,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
It's just such a dynamic environment that people are going to learn a lot more through failure. You have to be comfortable in living in ambiguity. And if you define what your priorities are, even though they may be ambiguous, go for it, make a decision, and do it with the best information at hand.
Empowering yourself and also empowering your employee is so important because of this environment. You have to trust, you have to be able to trust your team, and you have to empower your team to get things done. And also help them to learn how to make decisions. Don't be a perfectionist. Because if you try to be perfect, you'll never be able to get anywhere. If you wait for the perfect moment to say something, or perfect moment to make a jump, like you said, never going to go anywhere.
If you want to be a great leader someday, you have to learn how to influence. That influencing skill starts from day one. You're a leader the day you start working.
Thank you all, and let's thank our speakers for a great night.